we're talking, baby. Finally.
One more, hold on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen 7 incredible matches thus far, and it all comes down to this, the final match, the 8th match of the CDC Finals Day 1. So without any further ado, let's meet our final opponents. Your number 15 seed, hailing from North Augusta, Ontario, please welcome Gary Broomhead. And now your number 2 seed, hailing from Castro Valley, California, please welcome Chris White. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the 8th and final match of Day 1 of the CDC Tour Finals. The winner of this will move on to tomorrow, and the loser will end up going home. Their CDC Tour will come to a close. We've got the number 2 seed, Chris White, versus the number 15 seed, Gary Broomhead. Canada versus California. The only thing they have in common, the first 2 letters.
Well, Chris
Canada
is also Canadian.
And Chris is also Canadian. It makes Canada his home. That voice you hear is my broadcasting partner for the second time today, Scotty Burnett. Scotty, you've seen a lot of darts today. Tell me, what is your take on what you've seen today, and what do we expect out of this match?
I tell you, it's been awesome. The level of play so far today, it's not disappointed, and I think what we're going to see out of this match, from what I know very well of both these players, it's not going to disappoint either. It's going to be just a fantastic match.
Yeah, I could not agree more. So we've got Chris White from Canada, now calling California his home. Gary Broomhead from the United Kingdom, now calling Canada his home. He's got his custom-made Broomhead darts at 19 grams. Chris White throwing 20-gram Fit Flight signature with carbon shafts, the Great White Shark, as we know him, a big fisherman. And now he steps up to the Aki. Leg 1 is underway with a 20. I made a deal with
60.
With James Kinney in the last match. We said, how many 1080s do you think we're going to see? How many do you think we're going to see out of these 2 guys?
I got to say, it's probably going to be high. I'll take the over on 5. This is going to be a pretty high-scoring match, heavy scores.
85.
As I say that, they both open up, not
60-85.
60-85, not, super high scoring. But I know the level of play that both these guys can bring, and
34.
I was still pretty good here saying 5.
And we've got Broomhead, who only played in 4 events, had an 83 average, one of the top 5 averages, and 18 points, just enough to make it in as the 15 seed. Broomhead is definitely one of the dark horses here,
82.
along with Jim Newman, but Jim Newman no longer in it. Broomhead still is, and Chris White, he's ambidextrous, I guess we'll call it. He's not only a great steel tip
85.
shot, but a great soft tip shot. Tell me, how do you translate one to the other?
A lot of people say that they have issue going back and forth from one to the other. And it's, you can let it be an issue or you can let it not. I really don't find that there is an issue one way or the other. And Chris, obviously, with his track record for both, doesn't find it to be an issue for one or the other. Gary hitting a great 97 there. Chris still a little bit off the mark with 26. Only 26.
Well, and we can also take a look at how many high outs we can get out of these guys, considering Chris White has hit a ton 64 out, the highest out, I believe, of the CDC Tour this year. And Gary Broomhead hit a ton 44 out.
Yeah,
These guys are capable of some serious darts.
Absolutely, yeah, and not surprising from Chris, is he's just a magnificent counter as well. You won't see Chris leaving himself on any bogey numbers. And
100.
From what I do know of Gary, I'm not sure of
Gary,
his counting skills, but I
150.
know him to be just an excellent scorer. So I don't think you're going to see any bogey leaves here in this match. 150, a pretty big lead for Gary, and misses the first dart, so he'll come back, but he's not too terribly worried because Chris doesn't have an out.
That's exactly right, and he steps away from the line. One of the things that that I preach. Whoa, and he loses a flight on that one, meaning he knocked it right off of his own dart and got a 45 there, leaving a 105 out, but still. That is perfectly doable for someone of his...
140.
That's a big 140 right
That's
there.
huge. Someone of, I was going to say someone of his talent level, but Broomhead really needs to pull this one out because Chris White, will take out a 56, or you assume as much, rather.
Yeah.
85.
He's got to go 45 here.
Trip 15. Oh, just outside. He's going to have to go back over to the 13.
39.
And that's going to be a
Chris, you
39
require
score,
56.
56 left, 16 double top. Nope. He went 20, double 18, now double 9.
Now this is a bit interesting with Chris.
There it is.
Game shot. Third dart.
Interesting or not,
First leg, one leg to 0.
It worked well.
Gary.
It's Chris and I have shot a lot of doubles together, Chris doesn't mind that double 18 simply because it's just a really easy movement from the 20 right to the double 18 there. Whereas going down from the single 16 up to the double 20, it's a lot of movement going down from the bottom of the board to the top of the board. And the double 18 may not break down as well as some other doubles, whereas Chris finds it just a really simple, small movement from one part of the board to the other right there.
60.
Well, in CDC play, these two gentlemen have not played against each other, which is kind of surprising given the fact that you've had Chris finish in the top 4 a couple times, and then he won the last event of the year on Augugst 14th in Ypsilanti.
85.
And Gary didn't play the first half of the season, then finished top 8 a couple times. You would have thought they would have crossed paths, but no, they have not. And this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out as Chris White hits a big ton 40 right there. Now, do you still play doubles with Chris?
No, I don't even play anymore.
Oh, Scotty, why not? The game needs you.
I'll tell you, though, that there's not for the lack of history between these two. Chris won his first Canadian Youth National title the very following year in the Canadian Provincials. It was Gary Broomhead that put Chris out of the Canadian Provincials. So this is not for the lack of having history between these two in the game of darts that go way, way back, many years ago. So
81.
It's odd that they haven't met in the CDC yet. So
That
they've
is true.
definitely played each other before. Gary is known for taking extended breaks from darts off. In fact, we were just chatting a few minutes ago, and he said at one point he'd taken 13 years off without even touching a dart.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a fairly long break. In fact, some would even call that quitting.
45.
Some people would call that a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly, right. An entire career.
I don't even know what I was like 13 years ago. That was 13 years ago I was playing darts seriously. I took it seriously. Now I play leisurely, and I get to broadcast and be surrounded by great players such as yourself and watching great shooters such as Chris, who left himself.
Yeah, that's
an unfortunate dart on that third
just
one.
an unfortunate 5 on that shot.
But it's still early. These guys are going to get into the rhythm, and of course, it's the last match of the day, so that can be a little daunting.
99
out of Broomhead right there.
This format really provides so many wonderful things, in that when you're playing, you know what to prepare for, you know what to set up for, and that it also
81.
They can be long days, though, if you let them be. If you're preparing properly, that you're making sure that you're ready to go at 7 p.m. when the start time is for this particular match.
And look at Broomhead.
Look at this, yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Like that's trip 9.
27.
That's just unfortunate on the trip 9 there.
Yeah, unlucky dart right there. All right,
87.
96 scored, I believe. Am I right?
16 remain.
And it'll be 16
Chris
left.
required
Thank you.
94.
All right, good. My math is not failing me 8 hours later. Or 7.5.
Wow, that was unfortunate.
Wow. Look at that. Oof. What a great recovery,
What a save that would have been.
that's
Had that
serious.
gone in.
16.
All right, Broomhead with a chance to tie it up in one leg apiece. And he
shot.
does it.
First
First
dart,
start.
second leg,
Right.
one leg
So
to
I
one.
have a feeling we're in
Chris,
for a barn burner.
your
This
start.
is going to be a great one. I was talking with James Kinney before. Broomhead, a lot of solid followers. He's got his clan. Chris White,
60.
of course, does as well. And they all kind of butt heads, but like joshingly. These two are absolutely friends.
Oh, sure.
And it's kind of a friendly rivalry.
Indeed, very much so. Yeah, and the fact that almost like a friendly, you're buddies with everybody in a certain extent, but there's also your
100.
favorites as well.
Of course.
In the sense that we have our buddies that we run around with. They have their buddies that they run around with, but there's a friendly rivalry there.
Yeah.
Almost like sports teams.
Absolutely.
60.
You can bust on your friend for liking whatever team. They can bust on you for liking whatever team. But when it all comes down to it, you're still friends at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I had Dave Kelly in here before, and he's a Bostonian. He is a Patriots fan, and of course, I assume he's a Red Sox fan. I'm Yankees and Jets, and we should not have gotten along. But
Yeah, I mean, by all rights, apparently there should have been weapons drawn.
but boy, did we have a
40.
great time broadcasting.
Yeah.
As I have with you and James and Stacy today. It's been a fun day of darts, but we still have a lot of darts left, and we get back to the match right now. Chris White. He
60.
shoots the
It's
60 right
unfortunate.
there.
It looks like we're having a lot more of what we spoke about earlier last time I was in here, just pinning the wire
There's
on the opposite sides. Yeah.
And that has been the downfall for some great shooters. For example, you look at Gordon Dixon. You take a look at James Kinney. Do we get a ton 80 out of Broomhead, by the way?
180.
Broomhead with our first ton 80 of the match. But there's
100.
I'm taking a look at some of the players that were eliminated today, and it came down to the wire, literally the wire.
Yeah.
And these wires get thinner and thinner on these boards. These boards are so brilliantly constructed. The Windmill Blade 4 we've got here, as we have at Percy's Barbecue and Darts back in New York City, and dart bars around the country. But
99.
it's a matter of millimeters.
It really is, yeah. And some days they go in on the right side, and some days they go in on the wrong side, and it can feel like nothing's going wrong. But they're just not flying in the right spot.
82.
Well, that didn't
Gary,
feel like
you
that went in
require
the right
80
From
spot.
Chris, yeah, it's just not going to be enough
Trip.
here, I think.
Is he going trip 14 or
I
bullseye?
think bullseye here. Chris
There
is
it
down
is.
low
Oh,
enough.
right
buries
smack
it,
in the
too.
middle.
Couldn't walk that one in any
Oh
better.
my goodness. Double 16 to take a 2-1 lead. All right, double 8.
Get
There
shot.
it is.
Third dart,
Gary
third
Broomhead
leg.
takes a 2-1
legs to
lead.
one,
My
Gary.
goodness.
Nice
Gary,
and composed that
your
shot
start.
was.
It was
right
almost
there.
as if you'd asked him, hey, Gary, can you show me exactly where the dead center point of the board is? And he was like, yeah, sure,
And-
I can do it from
and
about
he did.
9 feet away.
Yeah,
That's fine.
and
Okay.
he did perfectly.
No worries. Broomhead to lead off after breaking Chris.
I think that was
Broomhead
just an
came to
unfortunate
play.
flight.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's not looking for
100.
9-darters. He's just looking for victories,
Indeed.
one leg at a time. And Chris following his lead.
Yeah, this is a little better out of Chris here.
All right,
A
100.
little bit more of that snap that I'm used to seeing out of Chris's stroke there. You can usually see it at the end of his release. He's got a little snap to his flow, and you'll see it in the flight of his dart as well.
Oh wow!
And,
Now the trips are starting to fly.
Yeah, this is a little more what I was expecting to see out of this match.
Do we get another ton 80 out of Broomhead?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we do. That is 2 ton 80s out of Broomhead in a matter of 2 legs.
Gary filling it up like it was a tub.
That was. And Chris
140.
looking for his first one of the match, comes away with a ton 40. Fantastic.
Stole
matches.
most of those from Sid Waddell.
And I'll tell you what, that's. I was just talking to Dave Fathom. He said, you could be the next Sid Waddell. And I said, well, except I don't have the English accent.
Yeah.
And there's only so much I can do. Broomhead was trying to. He's dropping
Another 60
down.
would be good as he
105.
goes down for the goal. Okay.
Yep,
Nothing wrong with that shot there.
absolutely. 105 leaves him 116. Chris White.
That was just a loose start there.
81.
All right, 81
81
leaves him
Gary, you
180.
require
No
116.
out.
Not going to be able to have an outshot there, so it's really going to open up Gary for 6 darts from here.
All right, Gary Broomhead at the Aki. Trip 20,
He
56
may not
remaining.
need 6.
He goes for the 16, it looks like. He does double top to get a 3-1 lead. Oh, Oh,
20
it's a
remain.
game of wires once again.
That was a really, really silky smooth stroke. That was at the double 20.
And he's going to have 3 darts at and out after Chris takes this turn right here. Gets a ton
140.
double
Nice
top.
40. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a bit late in this leg, though. I don't think that's
Gary
going to
required
shake
20.
Gary enough to
Probably
miss this 20.
not. Probably not. A nice. Ooh. Looks like he's going down to 2 double 4.
He's going to leave 2 double 4. Yeah.
Double 4.
Yeah, see, I don't know that I
4
like
remain.
that shot because you take a shot at a double out of your
Chris,
hand
you
right
require
there. It's a
40.
guaranteed dart at a double out of your hand.
I think maybe he was watching some of the prior matches where the double 5 just has not been kind to anyone except for Souls.
Game shot.
Chris,
Third
Chris
dart in the 4th leg.
notches
2
it.
legs to 2.
Ties it
Leg
up at
5.
2
Chris,
apiece.
your start.
Broomhead shooting an 87 so far. Chris, the Great White, at 80 and also at the Aki. Let's see what Chris White does right here. First dart just on the wire. Little off. Drops downstairs. 59 to open for Chris White.
Yeah, we're seeing that again, aren't we? Just pinning the wire. It's a little uncharacteristic, especially at this level of play, to see Chris pinning the wire like that, especially after stealing one.
Absolutely. And a ton out of
100.
Broomhead. All right,
Steady
so
done.
this
This could be a bit of a nail biter.
yeah, both these guys, they don't come away with black eyes and bloody lips.
60.
This could be Rocky 2 right here.
Indeed.
All right, let's see how Broomhead follows. His darts are flowing brilliantly so
Got
far.
a bit of a
even
steely-eyed
though-
look on him.
Absolutely. And
60.
pulls up a 60, all right.
It's a bit of an open door for Chris here. He can kind of steal the throw.
Chris with a trip 20 in the second dart. Third
100.
dart is a ton.
Steady ton.
You like my 20/20 vision on that one?
Yeah.
I can tell a trip 20 from camera 3 any day of the week. Try me.
Well, that may be part of the reason why I stopped playing so much, is because they all started looking like trip 20s.
85.
And I'd get up and to pull the 26 out.
We call those rose-colored glasses.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah. Another one of those would be nice.
100.
Steady ton.
Yeah.
Getting down into an out, I think, was probably a better call there. Gary's probably going to leave himself an out with a steady ton.
Broomhead. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well placed. Using the paraflight, you don't see that often anymore here in the field.
Oh,
140.
Look at the
How did he fit
140.
that in?
Wow, yeah.
How did he fit that in?
Especially with those bomb-shaped barrels that he's using too.
That is insane. Oh, Chris trying to get it
62
down.
trip 10.
150.
Nice. Buries the trip 10 to leave the 32.
Wow.
Gary, you require 160.
That is
That's a
the
really good
third
shot.
time I've seen it today out of 3 separate players. Brilliant darts, but look at
Oh,
Broomhead.
is he gonna actually take the 116 this time?
There we go, and we're going for double top. Broomhead to take the lead.
Oh,
20
won
remain.
it.
Misses
Same
below
exact,
again, yeah.
same exact spot he went for.
Probably
Chris,
the
you require 32.
same part of the board he missed it on last time too.
And
Nice.
Chris
shot.
White
First
Yeah,
start,
look at that.
5th leg.
with a
3 legs to 2.
two-leg
Chris.
winning streak. Chris
Slugfest.
White.
Leg
My
6.
gosh, this
Gary, your start.
This is a pretty good level of play right here.
If you're not watching right now, or you're missing out, and if you are watching, you better be sharing the link because this
Indeed, yeah.
this may be the match of the day. This is fantastic. Look at this Broomhead leading
Boy, is
off
he hitting
with a
his third
ton
right here?
20, third dart,
140.
140 for Broomhead. Looking for his third ton of the day. Chris White looking for his
Chris
first.
coming right in there too.
Oh, right outside.
83.
Gets an 83.
Chris. I wonder if they talked before the match and said, you know what, let's really screw with everybody and dress to match. Let's both wear the black and blue shirts.
And throw nearly identical darts while we're at it.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
an 88 average versus an 82 average right now.
That's close enough to just be awesome.
And it's
60.
only 10:20 in New York City. I know they've got it on at Percy's Barbecue and Darts right now. They've got
Nice.
it on the screen. They should turn up the volume for this one. I don't know what they're doing.
Boy, I really like hearing that when you have
58.
locations that are streaming this, live.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
Well, we've got it on in New York,
Yeah.
Philly. I assure you we've got it in Texas, Chicago.
Nice.
That's
great to hear.
Dart fans, if they're not watching this, they should be.
Indeed.
60.
Out of Broomhead. All right.
All right, Chris got a chance to really get right back in this leg right here.
Absolutely. He needs to hit that trip. There it is. Can he do it again? All right, he gets 100. A ton out of it. Broomhead at the Aki, throwing an 87 average on this particular leg. 88 overall, not too far off. Single 20, just outside the wire.
It's really overall just like John Lowe's setup.
Yeah.
With that particular barrel style.
Oh, 140 going.
Good
leaving
Lord.
101, man.
2 dart out. Chris White.
At least need the triple here.
And I gotta,
60.
I gotta give credit to our
Gary
camera
required
crew right there.
101.
What a brilliant shot of Chris White shooting, following the darts to the board.
Yeah, that was a good look.
That's our
21
friend
for 80.
Mark on the camera there, camera 4, if you will. And here goes
Double
Broomhead. Double 10. Oh!
Bit outside.
81.
He's got time. Chris is
He
nowhere near and
does.
out.
Absolutely. He's got 3 darts at it no matter what. The Great White steps up to the line outside the 20, gets the trip on the second dart. Third dart falls in for a
100.
ton, and now the pressure
Gary, you
is
require
on
20.
Broomhead. Double 10. Here we go.
Still
Broomhead
shouldn't
to
have a
tie it
problem.
up. Gets it on the
Game
first
shot.
dart.
First dart. 6 leg.
Man,
3
oh
legs
man.
to 3
So
going
with
into
that,
the break.
6 legs in. It took a matter of 20 minutes. That was extraordinarily fast.
What a pace.
89 average for Broomhead, 82 for White, 3-3. Lots of darts left. We're going to take a brief break, run to the bathroom, tell your friends to tell your friends. Watch this match. Ladies and gentlemen, more darts coming at you. The CDC Finals, day 1 coming to a close after this break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second portion of this match between the number 15 seed Gary Broomhead and the number 2 seed Chris White, tied 3 legs apiece. These guys, they're
gentlemen,
shooting
we're back.
in the
Leg
80s.
7,
It's going back and
3 legs
forth.
to
I am
3.
joined
Chris,
by my
your
friend,
start.
my
Game
compatriot,
on.
and my fellow dart enthusiast and a great dart shot himself, Scotty Burnett. Scott, what do we expect out of the second half of this?
Man, it's absolutely lived up to what we hoped it would be in the first half. The
40.
second half, I would say it lives up to the first half. We're going to see fantastic darts out of both these guys, and it's going to be whoever has the strongest arm at the end wins.
All right, well, Chris White opening with a 40, Broomhead following
100.
with a ton. Tied 3-3. Broomhead shooting an 89 average. Not that Chris White's 82 is
140.
anything to scoff at.
Ton 40 is pretty good there.
Yeah, that's not bad at
I'll
all.
take that in a pinch.
This is,
The level is really, really good in this match. I mean,
this is finals worthy in my eyes.
I'll be honest, yeah. That's
100.
absolutely no disrespect to the rest of the talent that's in this field.
Thank
Because you're talking about some of the best players that that North America has to offer here that are in this field.
99.
But I'll tell you, man, this match is absolutely finals worthy right here. What we're seeing out of these two guys.
Yeah, the averages, the caliber of dart, the intestinal fortitude, the concentration, the focus, and just the overall quality of each round. It is spectacular to watch. I
83.
realize it's 10:30 on a Saturday in New York City, but for the love of God, step outside the bar and just watch this on your phone.
Indeed.
It's only 7:30 here in LA, so.
Yeah, that
46.
That may have been a bit of a miscue there. Is that commentator's curse where you go talking something up and then down the drain it goes. That was just unfortunate there. So
But
if
you
Gary
know
can
what?
put together a good round here, he basically just can take this leg.
Well, holy.
98.
That's not bad there.
Yeah, it slides
138
over.
is not bad at all.
No, it's a smart dart, actually, because he probably had it blocked, and he knows
Yep.
he's going to have another shot at it. And a ton 20, he just Shanghai, a trip
41.
double.
Gary, you require 120.
But you know what? these two guys, they've recovered so well from bad rounds that I cannot say there's a broadcaster's curse.
Yeah, I'll absolutely give you that. I'll take back what I said.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah.
We were right before. 40 for Broomhead. So he's got 80 remaining. Last start.
60.
Great camera shot right there.
Yeah,
60
that was
shot.
really
Chris,
good
you
work.
require 135.
Kudos to our crew once again.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know. It almost looked
45.
like Chris. You see the eyeballs,
He just
too, as he
was
was
like,
walking
Gary
in.
requires
Yeah.
60.
I'll let
Yeah.
this one slide.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate there again. Just the curse of the wires, just the opposite side of the fence again. And
Double top for Broomhead to take a 4-3 lead. And
20.
he narrowly misses.
Wow.
This gives Chris White an
Chris,
opportunity
you require 90.
that he probably did not
gotta figure
expect.
Chris is going bull here.
No.
Oh,
He goes 70. Oh. What? That's the curious throw right
50.
there.
Because if you hit the two
Gary, you
20s, the two
require
single
40.
20s, it does leave you the 50. So
Yeah.
there's two schools of thought there. Personally, myself, I go the bullseye the first route, so you leave the 50.
Game
And there
shot,
it is.
second dart,
there's the
seventh
game.
leg,
we
four
can
legs,
debate
three.
the shot.
Gary,
Either way,
leg
technically,
eight.
you're leaving yourself
Gary,
a double.
your start.
Obviously, Chris was confident by hitting the next single 20 to leave
Right.
himself the 50.
Right.
But that's kind of the thing is it looked like that shot, he just kind of tossed that second 20 up there, assuming it was just going to drop in,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
Yeah, that's a little lapse in concentration out of Chris White there, but I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll get it back. We've seen that happen between both competitors
60.
in this match. There's a 60 out of Broomhead. White at the line. Let's see if he can get that concentration back. First start, sails just over the trip 20.
60.
And the second one as well. Third one drops just underneath, but no harm, no foul. They're both at 441 with Broomhead at the line. First start. Ooh, sails into a 1. Have not seen that out of him yet.
Yeah, I'm telling
There's
you,
a trip 20.
there's that 20 that we were expecting to see, and after the break, I was honestly expecting to
68.
see the level of play, if anything, stay the same, if not step up a little bit, and we're kind of seeing the exact opposite. We're not even seeing to the level of play that it was
43.
before. It's actually, I know it's only been one leg, but the level has dropped down. In fact, Gary's and Chris's averages have both dropped down a little bit since before the average.
Yeah, Chris's average has dropped by 3 points per round to Gary's, which has dropped 2 points per round. Maybe that's nerves or adrenaline. Maybe they had a friendly conversation outside and said, "Hey, do you want to pump the brakes a little bit?
60.
Do you want to try to make this last until 8:30? Let's see what we can do here."
Let's see if we can squeeze a 14-hour workday out of Colin.
Oh, that's nothing. Wow, that's a tough
140.
40 out of Chris.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's
as
a
we
little
said,
better.
there's the reverse curse.
The
of
reverse curse,
broadcasting.
yes.
And that would be a 14-hour day for the great L. David Irete. Not
Yes.
for me. I've just been talking for 8 hours. He's been talking for about 18. The man never sleeps with Broomhead at the line.
And I'll tell you, if Chris can manage to pull this leg out, it would be the break right back. and
45.
level at the 4-4.
That was not the way to do it, though. 45 is not going to do it. Chris White has found his stroke back in the
Look at
trip
this,
20,
yeah.
and he gets the
There it is.
108.
third one of the match. First one, once again, for Chris White, leaving him 78. Broomhead. Now, pretty much going through the motions.
I would like to point out that I did say I'll take the over on the 5 180s, and there's 3 so far. So I probably just jinxed myself.
134.
Well,
Chris, you require 78.
thank goodness we are a good 4 or 5 hours away from Vegas. 24 remaining for Chris White. Oh, just
Chris,
Well remaining.
listen,
outside.
a great setup with the trip 18.
Gary,
As
you
we see
require
in the background there,
134.
my other broadcasting partner, James Kinney, watching. He's got a great view. He was very excited about this match. 51 for Broomhead. Leaves him 83. Wants to do it again. Just missed.
66.
He wanted to get that 32 out.
I like trip 10 here with the 66 remaining. Yeah.
Just outside.
78.
All right.
Chris,
He's
you
going to
require
come back
12.
to 56 if Chris leaves this 12, which he should clean up. There
Game
he goes,
shot. First start.
And
8 leg.
that
4 legs
will
to
do
4.
it for Chris White on that leg, tied
Leg
at
9.
4
Chris,
apiece.
your
Break
start.
back, and then
And the
Chris gets
averages.
the darts.
Averages back up a little
Yep.
bit for Chris White, back up to 81. Gary shooting 85. Trip 20, first dart, second dart, same. Third dart goes
Get
in.
in, Chris.
180 for Chris White, 2 apiece, 4
Mark it.
in one match. That is the most we've had today, ladies and gentlemen, and the averages show it. Gary Broomhead at the line.
Gary adjusts a little bit here, see if he can get around that flight. You know, he doesn't seem to want
60.
to throw a cover dart, either the 18 or the 19. Even if his dart's like in a wonky angle, he seems to want to stay on that 20.
Yeah, he seems fixed to it, and I can't say I
100.
blame him. He did have 2-ton 80s going into it. It's been very, very friendly to him. He just needs to get
Indeed.
back into it and get that dart flying. There's the
There
first
it is.
one. Look at that second dart, just a bit outside, and now Broomhead's third dart sails into
100.
just above, gets a ton.
Steady ton, not bad there.
But,
on Chris's darts, though, it's still being 120 points behind. It's, you know, he's basically a full throw behind.
Absolutely. Chris White needs a third dart to drop. Oh,
45.
It slips away from him, a 45 there.
He may
But
get that throw behind right back here.
yeah, he needs to brush that one off and focus on leaving himself an out after the next turn, because Gary, even with a ton 80, will give Chris the opportunity.
Moving
to come
right.
back.
Ooh.
55.
Oh, that was
was
uncharacteristic of the way Gary's been shooting today.
Indeed.
What do you attribute that to?
You know, it's odd, because I think he's thinking maybe the same thing I
100.
was, because that puts him right back in with a good round there after Chris gifted him with a poor shot. So maybe he just overamped that third dart.
Oh, trip 20. If he starts to find it again, this is going to get pretty scary for Chris. But that second one sails just south. Third
Yeah,
one
that's
sails
that stroke right
140.
there. There is a solid,
Chris, you require
solid 140.
76.
Chris White shooting a 106 in
goodness.
this turn. Ooh,
Trip,
he's
nice
got-
trip 13 there for the 32. Oh.
44.
He needs to slow it down. Do you feel like he's
That
rushing
was
a bit?
rushed.
Gary,
Yeah,
you
that
require
was absolutely
146.
rushed. It was a brilliant trip 13, but he could not get that third dart out of his hand fast enough.
There's a trip 6. or
86
trip,
left.
Trip 20 for Broomhead. Wow, 120. Leaves himself a double 13. Curious,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
surprised why
doable.
he didn't. Yeah,
And, oh,
you know, it
just
really doesn't matter what
120.
you leave as long as it's 0 at the end.
what a,
You require
that's
32.
truer words, my friend. Chris White at the line trying to take a 5-4 lead.
Game
Does
shot.
so with
Second
the
dart.
dart.
Ninth
32.
leg.
Dart.
5
Is
legs
he
to
out?
4. Chris.
Breaks and then holds.
Fifth leg.
5
Gary,
for
your start.
Chris White, the great White. Gary Broomhead steps up to the Aki. This is leg number 10. 86 average to 82 average. Tremendous starts. Easily the best starts we've seen between two competitors today.
There he goes again, moving to the right with that heavy blocker sitting there. Why
45.
he wouldn't go to the 19, I just don't understand there.
Well, he decided to go for it and instead came away with a 45. Chris White at the line hits a trip 20 with his second dart. First dart was a 20.
100.
Second dart was a 20, and that is a ton. Broomhead. Trip 20, first dart. Second dart from Broomhead. That is a single 20. Going for a ton 40 if he can pull it off. And he does.
140.
Broomhead with huge darts right there. The UK native now calling Ontario, Canada his home. Fantastic round of darts. Chris White at the line. Follows it up with a ton
140
40 as
done.
well. Now we're seeing the darts that we left off at the break. Scotty.
Absolutely correct. This is coming exactly back where I thought we were going to come out of the break with. It seems that the level of play, the confidence level that they both had leaving the break is coming right back to where they left off. And Gary, while not going into the trip, grabs a
100.
huge kick off of that first start that he had in the 20 to get in for that nice steady ton. Looks like they're both back to that confidence level. There's Chris hitting the trip 20 again.
Chris,
nice 140 again.
You know, those baby blue eyes of the great White, Chris White, staring straight at that. They're like lasers right now. He's shooting a 127 average in this leg.
Indeed. Gary no slouch at a 95 right behind him. a good steady trip in there, and
60.
this would look good. No,
Chris, you
only
require
a 60. Still on and
121.
out though, so this tightens up that 121 a bit for Chris.
Take a look at this
no
leg, ladies
bother.
and gentlemen.
No
Take a look
bother.
at this leg. You think you have to travel overseas?
61. I think he goes bull here, to be honest. I don't like the trip 15 with Gary on and out. I think
11.
he goes bull.
Oh, gets 33. All right, so 93. The 28. Oh, narrowly missed it. Oh
28
my
remain.
goodness. And if you think you need to travel overseas to see
Gary,
great
acquire
darts, ladies and gentlemen,
156.
Chris White's average, Gary Broomhead's average,
Just
alone
amazing darts
in
right
this
now.
leg.
Yeah, we're seeing great stuff out of these two players right now. This is what I'd hoped we were going to see coming out of that break, and now we're finally getting to see it here in the 10th leg.
100.
Comes away with
Chris,
a
you
ton,
require
56
28.
remaining. Chris White, double 14 for the win. In this leg,
Needed
gets
that.
a
14.
single
Wow.
14. That
It's unfortunate.
You
That
require
hurts.
56.
Broomhead,
So
56,
he's going the
16
16
double
route?
top. Ooh, 48 leaves him 8, double 4. And he
shot.
gets
That was
it.
a
Second
great
dart.
shot.
Broomhead
Second leg.
ties it
Five
up at
legs
5
to
apiece.
five.
He
Levels
was
it back.
11th
he
leg,
was
Chris,
down
your start.
by as much as 30 points per round,
Yes.
and came back to tie this up. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen! And Chris
100.
comes right
What
back
a
with
leg.
the ton.
Yep. What a leg that was.
That was the best leg of the day, bar none.
That
Broomhead.
just goes to show that, you know, the 3 darts that Chris had at the double there, and that, you know, maybe that's why you don't go. That's why you don't go that route. You know, I don't know. Who am I to second guess that, you know, somebody with the ability of
100.
Chris, and
That's-
he's got the resume of, you know, somebody could dream of.
Absolutely.
You know, but yeah, did that cost him the leg? Yeah, who knows?
And the way
You know?
both of these guys are
Yeah.
playing, if they were to keep it up, either one
60.
of them could easily be a front runner to
Oh, yeah.
win it all tomorrow.
Yeah, at this level that both these guys are playing, and under the pressure situation that the other is given right back to the other, you'd have to tip your hat to whoever wins this match.
Yes, and the obvious front runner right now would be Larry Butler. Understandably, was the point leader. They had
Of
a
course.
phenomenal
60.
match today against Jim Newman, but either of these guys, with the way they're shooting,
Of course, yeah, and you know, again, no disrespect to the other players in the field.
Absolutely
know, but,
not.
with the fact that these two guys are
100.
really just standing toe to toe right now, and just a great slugfest at this last match of the evening. You know, again, just the winner would have to have just a slight advantage going into tomorrow.
yeah, this makes for a very exciting tomorrow, and we don't
Indeed.
even know who's advancing
Yeah,
between
yeah.
these two guys. I cannot wait.
Either way, it's going to be
100.
exciting. That's what's great about this game that we love so much. Either way, it'll be exciting tomorrow.
Absolutely. Chris White at the Aki. This arguably the
There
match
you
of
81.
the day. Tell your friends. Share the link right now. This is a good time to, this is a good time to join us. Yeah, wake up your kids too. Tell them to watch this.
All right, so that looks like a trip 20 from here.
Give them some pixie sticks. All right.
Yeah.
5.
Let it bounce off the ceiling
Pressure
for
It'd be
4
like
hours.
that little girl at
160.
the baseball game that became a meme.
Oh, yeah.
Who ate the cotton candy for the first time and freaked out.
Yeah.
Chris White, second dart. Drops
100.
in, third dart, gives him a
Gary,
ton,
you
gives
require
him a 60.
156.
Broomhead with a 156, fully capable of taking this out. Can he do it?
First
First
dart's got
dart.
to drop. A
And
little
it
low,
does
so
not.
Chris is going to come back for 60.
And he also fully capable, obviously. Second one, a little high. Third one needs to split the uprights.
Yeah, so I
60.
don't know. I may be jinxing him,
Chris,
but
you require
Chris was never a big fan of the double 20 when we were doubles partners. He always wanted me leaving him double 16.
Well,
But we'll see how he can clean this up.
let's see if he becomes a fan of the double 20 tonight.
Headshot.
And he does.
No
That's
bother.
right.
11th
One
leg,
leg
6
away from
legs to
advancing
5.
to
Chris
tomorrow.
12th leg.
Gary Broomhead.
Gary, your start.
Needs to hold serve on this one. Leads off his first throw. Gary Broomhead at the Aki. Ooh, just outside. That
We
is
could be seeing a little bit of nerves out of Gary for the first time. That was a little uncharacteristic for a first start into the one.
And to in the chat
81.
room right now, for those watching the YouTube feed, Jeff Dodson said it absolutely perfectly. I say all 8 after this match are equally poised to make a run tomorrow. Based on their performances over
60.
the tour season, all in very good form. Could not have said it better myself, Jeff.
Yeah, well said. I completely agree with that.
Maybe I'll get Jeff in the broadcast booth tomorrow. Want to catch a red-eye flight? Gary.
Yeah, so
You
that's
could
it.
join Scotty and
So
I.
that's it for me. See ya.
100.
I didn't clean that up too.
Nice ton by Gary right there.
I didn't clean that up fast enough. Apparently, absolutely no discredit to any of the broadcasters.
Oh, Chris, a nice
135.
That's great darts right
Yeah,
there. That puts the
fantastic.
pressure right back on Gary, letting him know, like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I had one bad round. I'm still right here on your heels.
Gary with the trip 21st dart.
Yeah.
Second dart follows.
Oh, look at
Can
this.
he get the ton 80? Oh,
125.
may have deflected off of those gigantic
Yeah.
flights of his.
I'm thinking
Still
that
a ton
did.
25. You saw it flicker just a little bit with Chris White at the line. Second dart errant. Needs to slow it down a little
41.
bit. I feel.
I think he's really kind of feeling that finish line coming,
Absolutely.
coming close,
And
and
he's-
he may be stepping up that pace just a hair.
He's treating it like a sprint rather than a marathon.
Indeed,
whereas
yeah, and I
Broomhead,
think if he had just kind of eased back a bit, I think that shot right there could have really set the pace for these last 6
89.
starts of his to set him up for a great out, as opposed to probably being a bit higher of an out than he would have wanted.
and Broomhead. Chris White switching up a little bit. The Great White.
95.
Yeah, they're perfectly admirable.
Here
95.
you
Still
are.
Gives
completely
him-
fine to leave the
106.
170.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's really the way to go.
Broomhead needs this. 86, trip 18. Oh,
That is
that's
just an unfortunate
trip
chart.
17. Oh, just
340.
outside. Chris White needs the perfect
Chris,
out.
you
Kind
to
of get the
take
feeling this could go
match.
in here.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, unfortunate there.
It could have.
Yeah, unfortunate in that. I think all the viewers would like to have
105.
seen it.
Yeah. 105.
Not
Gary, you
unfortunate
require
for Chris because that
66.
first start was a mile off.
Gary Broomhead, 66, is the out to keep himself alive. 52 remaining, 20 double 16. Nope.
52,
He's
he's gonna leave
he
tops.
hit a
Is that a 5? That's a 5.
hit a 5.
Oh my goodness, that's a 5.
Oh, that could be the match
Wow.
for Broomhead.
Yeah, that really could just seal it up right there.
30.
Now Chris just needs to compose. You see his eyeballs there, yeah?
34,
Chris
correction.
needs to compose and just take his time.
Do you think he's going to go single bull double top?
I
Considering he hits a
personally
double
go
top?
single bull
65.
double top here. That's the shot. You know,
Let's see
it's
what he
single bull
does.
double top.
He goes, oh,
Is
42.
that 42?
Oh, 23 remaining. Does he go
Jeez.
7 double 8?
Yes.
Jeez, well, I mean that's really the only shot that
I've seen
that-
so
that
many
makes
weird outs
sense.
today, Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the triple 14 there. I mean,
He goes 3 double 10. And he gets a single.
10 remaining.
10 remaining for the Great White.
want to win this leg.
Gary Broomhead, a double 16 to bring it to the final leg. My God, this is insane.
You know why not? This has been a very exciting
And he
match.
gets
Game shot
it.
at first
Let's
start
do
in the
it. Let's go
12th
to the
leg
final
at Gary
leg.
Broomhead.
Let's go to
6
the final
legs
leg.
to 6, 13 and final leg. Chris
Get
White,
your pots of
start.
coffee ready, ladies and gentlemen. If you're on the East Coast, what am I talking about? It's New York City. It's the city that never sleeps. Here we go. The final leg of the night. This is for the final spot
60.
tomorrow.
Reaching a little bit for that last dart.
And David Irene just said these people are getting their money's worth. Nobody paid a dime for YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. This is free excitement.
Gary moving again at the line. Didn't work out so well last time. Let's see how it works this time. Looks
And
60.
A fat 60.
It's only fitting we got a
60.
tie ball game here in the bottom of the
Yeah.
9th inning.
Mid 80s on both of them.
This is absolutely phenomenal.
60.
Fat 60.
Now, averages matter not. This is just
Yeah.
a battle of attrition. Who's
Indeed.
got the intestinal fortitude? Insert cliche here. This is
Who
insane.
wants it more? Well, there's a triple. Gary put another one in.
Can he
Can we
pull
get
off
that fifth 180?
Come on.
140.
Saw the dart flicker a little bit, bounced off of it. Same exact marker, though. Now, how does Chris White answer? He gets a trip 20, get another one, and he gets it
look
back
at
to
this.
140.
Look at this.
This
Boy, is
is,
this a match or what?
jeez.
I'll tell you what. I'm glad I'm sitting right where I'm sitting right now, because I'd be going crazy out there biting my nails and not being able to yell in the room where you're supposed to be quiet.
This is
Such a fan of this game. Oh,
85.
an errant dart. Boy, that could cost him.
fantastic. Gosh.
Oh, look, starting off with a good solid 60. Another 20 here. All right.
100.
Solid ton to leave 141.
That is an out. Gary Broomhead at the line, 2:16 remaining, shooting a 95 average on this particular leg, the final leg of the night,
Gary
just
can go
south.
ton plus here. He can really, really
There's a
put
trip.
the wood to Chris. Tighten the screws a bit. He's moving again.
And he pulls it out, a
He
ton
did it.
40,
Chris,
76
you require
remaining.
141.
Chris White.
Good.
Oh, he's not going to pull it out. 37, 104. He's got to go for the trip 18. He's got
You
it.
kind of figure, yeah. 18 is probably the shot, and it's a single one.
38.
Yikes.
I feel like he didn't line up the
Gary,
way
you
he
require
should have. Gary
76.
Broomhead for all the marbles. 76 remaining. Let's watch him throw. Single.
He's going to have...
Oh, no.
Wow.
And
Are
he
we going
knows
to do
it.
this again?
2044 score, and 7 years ago, our
44.
founding fathers discovered darts, and this
Chris,
is
you
the
require
reason.
Here's the
103.
eyeballs from Chris again.
Chris.
If you had one shot and one opportunity... No.
I feel, I don't know what's going
55.
on with Chris in this game.
Yeah.
It's not
Here you
He's,
require
indicative of
32.
the way he's been
It-
shooting.
It's really not.
Here we
no.
go. Gary Broomhead, 3 darts to get the double 16 and move on.
Oh, wow.
Just
That
out.
was surprisingly low.
Gary. Gets
Gary
it. Gary
shot,
Broomhead
Gary
will
match shot,
advance the
second
number
dart,
15
dart,
seed,
that
takes
leg.
down the number 2
Gary
seed, Scotty
Broomhead.
Burnett. We knew this was
match.
going to be one heck of a match, and if since the
82
kids
and
are probably in
85
bed,
averages.
one hell of a match. How would you sum up what we just saw
Well
in
played,
one word?
gentlemen.
I'll tell you what, Colin, the word that I would use was amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
That was everything that I'd hoped it would be, and it was, oh, man, that may have been the match of the day.
No, it was undoubtedly the match of the day. We had Gary Broomhead finishing with an 86 average, Chris the Great White with an 82 average. We saw some phenomenal darts today. Top to bottom, the best shooters in North America that have been coming together all year long, and it came down to this. We had the final 8 matches. We had phenomenal matches from Chris Lim and Gary Mawson, Danny Lobby and Gordon Dixon, John Parton, Jesse Rivera, and Leonard Gates, Kurt Hartman, Brandon and Kinney, Butler and Newman. But my goodness, you take a
Yeah.
look at
4 180s in that match.
you take a look at this match, and it was nearly 5 180s.
Nearly was, yeah.
I am in absolute awe of what we saw here. No reason to count Broomhead out as the 15 seed. Some would call him a dark horse. The people that know him, that watched him throw tonight, know that that is not the case at all.
I certainly knew that coming into this match.
Absolutely right. And the number 2 seed has been eliminated. I wouldn't call it an upset. I would call it the best match of the day. Scotty Burnett, it has been an honor
Pleasure,
broadcasting
Colin.
this with
Thank
you.
you.
Looking forward to tomorrow. And now we are going to take a quick break before we get into the post-game interview with the victorious number 15 seed, Gary Broomhead. On behalf of myself and the rest of the staff, before we get to the interview, John, Ron Holm, David Irete, Good, the whole gang, Mark, everybody, just a tremendous job today, but especially the players. Thank you for the entertainment. Sit tight. We're going to get the post-game interview. On behalf of myself, my fellow broadcasters, I'm Colin Cosell, looking forward to bringing you another great day of darts. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up, and we will call it a day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Bull Tavern, the venue at the Dirty Bull. We're here in Woodland Hills, California. I'm here with Gary Broomhead. Gary just advanced through to the final 8. Gary, welcome.
Thank you.
What can you say about this one except, they always say you save the best for last, right? What a match.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on that. I mean, far and away, you can look at, we had some good matches. This one was a dogfight. It was no doubt, hands down, the best match of the day between two class players. So why don't you give me your thoughts on that one?
Well, it's Chris White. Chris White's one of the best players in North America. He's been all over. He's been a friend of mine for over 30 years.
You were saying that in the pregame interview?
Yeah,
Yep.
he's fantastic. He's, I don't know, it's an honor to play him in advance.
He it was trading legs. I mean, basically just back and forth, trading legs, beating each other up. You can definitely say that was beating each other up. What was your feeling going in? You forced the last leg in. I mean, and that the 12th leg was certainly no given. I think he missed a dart or two at double, and you ended up taking out, I believe it was 32 in that leg. And then you come back in the last game. What is going through your head going into that last leg, knowing that you've just traded 12 legs to get here?
There's nothing into my head. I was just hoping he wouldn't miss. Chris doesn't usually miss, and when he had that, I had one shot, and I had to take it, and I took it, and that was that. And nothing to say. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, that's a good place to be.
It is.
You
It's
know
overwhelming.
that you're looking at tomorrow, and unfortunately, only one person can come away a victor in that match. That's one of those you really do step back and go, man, if there's a way for both of them to win it, it was so intense, and that's the best way I can describe it. Looking at the averages, just kind of where you placed, you ended up second on the day. You averaged 85.5 in that match, only behind Gary Mawson's 87.7. So that's a fantastic.
Yeah.
Situation, and that was over. Yours was over 13 legs. His was only over 9. Not that makes it any less of an accomplishment, but
A win's a
certainly,
win.
yeah. But doing it over 13, you're keeping the average up. That's an amazing match. And you're looking at Chris White. White just a few points behind you came in 5th at 82.5 today. So overall, you can't say enough about the way you guys played. So we're at the end of the day. You had the experience of coming here in the morning, kind of watching people set up, kind of going to get your head reset and coming to play the last match. Now that you're done, last match, you want to be the last match, or would you prefer to be earlier?
I prefer the last match. I said we enjoyed our trip, and we went to Hollywood actually this morning.
Oh, did you?
Yes, we toured everything. We've seen everything that we can see, and that's probably the best thing we've done is just relax. And I came in here knowing, and then behind the curtain, I said to Chris, they want to see a show. Let's give them a show, and we know what we can both do, and I think we did it.
Well, you definitely did that. And if you do this same stuff tomorrow, you may finally give you your own star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That's right.
That's
I
what we're
hope
hoping
so.
for anyway,
Actually,
right?
it's going to be in the bar in Brockville, thanks to
Well,
Jess and Andy.
Or maybe the bar here at the Dirty Bull.
Maybe.
All right. Any
Maybe.
last words for us?
No, all best to all the guys that are advancing, and hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow and be in the number 1 seed.
All right. Gary Broomhead, very, very, very great
Thank
to
you.
see you.
I do got to say hi
Great
to my
match.
kids, though.
Oh, absolutely. Say hi to he says hi to his kids every chance
I
he gets.
do.
Right to that camera.
I got
right there.
Taylor, Emily, Jacob, and Ethan.
Excellent.
Love you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow. Congratulations again on advancing.
Thanks.
We'd like to thank Cosmo Darts for everything they do for us and for the game of darts in general. We couldn't do this without Nozomi and that company. We also couldn't do it without our other sponsors, Ken McCowan from 9 Dart Out, and certainly everybody else that comes to support us. The Pickle Pig Dart Supplies, the A to Z Darts of the World, the Cleveland Darter Club, all of our Q School sponsors. Guys, we really appreciate all the support you give us. We're here because you believe in us, and we hope we're putting on the show that you'd expect. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for my partners, Jeff Good, David Irete, Anthony Eugenia, my name is Peter Cetera, and we will see you tomorrow at the Dirty Bull for the Final 8.
One, two, three. I want one.
Wow.
And
Are
he
we going
knows
to do
it.
this again?